Did you feel a shift? I've been hearing this from a lot of people lately, especially from late December into early January. A sense that something's changed, and not always in some clean or comfortable way, just something that no longer sits the way that it used to. For some people, it's been emotional, others physical, and for some, it's this quiet but persistent feeling that something needs their attention. That in between space that can feel unsettling or even confusing. Something's even scary. I felt that. But I don't think that this feeling is a bad sign. I think a lot of people expect shifts to feel good or good right away, clear, energized, like some sort of relief. But very often, the first sign that we feel is like a real discomfort. The moment that you realize you can't keep doing something that we've always been doing it. It's like when old coping patterns start to crack, when the story you've been telling yourself stops holding together. That doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It usually means that honesty is finally coming to the surface. And I want to share something personal that happened to me around that time. So back on December 19th, I was visiting Florence when this massive storm hit. Not just heavy rain, I mean a fearsome storm. Trees were snapping at their bases. I mean, these things were like 10 feet wide, snapped, clean in half. Full grown trees coming down like twigs. The power fluctuated. I mean, this was a real, visibly destructive storm. And as tense as that storm was, it mirrored exactly what was happening to me on the inside. There's this part of me desperately trying to cling to what was old and familiar, old identities, old habits, old ways of being that once kept me safe. At that time, something new was trying to emerge, and it was scary. That internal conflict was painful, it scared me, and there were these moments where I felt completely unsettled. I was even crying at one point. Like the ground around me, what I'd been standing on my whole life, was not solid anymore. But as close as it felt like I was coming to it, I did not break. And looking back now, I don't see that storm as destruction. I see it as a clearing moment. Sometimes things don't gently fall away. Sometimes they get literally uprooted like those trees because they can't come along with where you're going. It doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean something is bad. It just means that something real inside of you is now changing. This is often when healing actually begins. Not when everything feels resolved, but when you stop running from that discomfort. When you actually allow yourself to notice what you've been feeling, and when you stop pretending something is fine when it isn't. When you let yourself admit, quietly or out loud, something has to change. That moment, well, that's a wake-up call. It's not punishment, it's not failure, it's just a signal. And here's the part that feels very important to say. When you survive these internal storms, when you move through them instead of shutting down, it doesn't just help you, which it very much does, but it changes how you show up for people around you. It deepens your empathy, and it gives you the clarity that you did not have before. And eventually it gives you something even more. This real feeling that you can share. Not a theory, not a platitude, but lived understanding. So if you've been feeling unsettled since late December, if something's been asking for your attention, if old patterns have been cracking under pressure, you're not behind, you're not broken, you're not doing it wrong. Simply, you might be standing at the beginning of something incredibly important. You don't have to rush this. You don't need to force answers. Just notice what's shifting, notice what no longer fits, and trust that clarity tends to follow your own honesty. Honesty with yourself, even when that process is uncomfortable. And if you're in this space right now, feeling shaken or uncertain, or tender, scared, whatever, I want you to hear this very clearly. Seriously. What's falling away is not proof of anything you're losing. It's proof that you're outgrowing it. You're still here, you've made it through the storm, and what's emerging now has more room to breathe, more truth, and more strength than has would ever come before you. So take this moment as a reminder, not of what broke, but that you survived. You're not starting over, you're simply starting deeper.